Good afternoon, my faithful listeners, and thank you for tuning into the Post-Apocalyptic News Radio, your only source for the latest goings-on in the little corner of the post-apocalyptic wasteland we call home. Today is Friday, the 6th of June, and we're live at the bottom of the hour for more of the latest. But first, I'm bound by contractual obligations to spoon-feed you a weather report, information that is plainly available to you via your senses. I ask your forgiveness while I deliver this useless bit of information. This is a grand opportunity, however, to collect a beverage. The sky remains clear and cloudless. Our wasteland has become a desert most deadly, with heat intolerable. Though we continue to cool down with a high today of 54 degrees Celsius, a low of 38. Though much cooler, I'll remind you it's still deadly hot. As well, with winds continuing to kick up fallout into small dust storms, moving about outside is quite dangerous to one's health. It is our continued recommendation that you remain within your shelter. Moving on. It's time for our daily siege report. The MCR invaded and took control of our wasteland not long ago, but the studio's defenses held. Now, a bitter standoff between your home for music and news and a society of brutes. Yesterday, following the broadcast, a most peculiar situation was presented to us. An emissary from the MCR came forward to our doors requesting to parley. We discussed our options for some time, but ultimately allowed the man to enter the studio. After being searched thoroughly, we would listen to what this man had to say. This man, who identified himself as Gaius, claims to represent the interests of Legatus Aurelius, and is thus the voice of the MCR in his absence. An interesting claim that we should not have believed if he had not documentation to prove this fact. According to Mr. Gaius, the Legatus has no interest in seeing the station destroyed or the staff killed, but sees a mutually beneficial relationship. He would ask us to continue our daily operations, to continue to provide the latest news to you, my faithful listeners, but that we must also submit to certain MCR oversight, that we should also spread MCR propaganda with our broadcasts. To be clear, propaganda is my description. Their words were, and I quote, "more favorable stories describing the glory of the Republic." I believe propaganda is the appropriate term. Gaius continues to be our guest, though under close supervision, as we consider the offer. While I am staunchly opposed to this, the choice is ultimately Director W's to make. With that, it's time now for a quick commercial break. When we come back, we'll discuss one of the wasteland's beasts. Stay tuned. Good afternoon, and thank you for staying tuned through the advertisements. As you know, it is illegal to do business with us, so please allow me to advertise segments from PANR. Are you tuned into the broadcast live? Did you know if you're listening in at the exact moment this broadcast is airing, the PANR team is also live elsewhere? Like a stream, the content of PANR continues beyond our wasteland. Following the broadcast, why not tune in and relax with the team? Are you tired of the money we use in the wasteland? Cubes can be quite difficult to carry in bulk, and concealing them from bandits and brutes of the MCR can be most challenging. Why not accept a new coin, the can coin? As inspired by Miss Bean's love for the currency of the world that was, we have created our own currency here at the studio in the form of can coins, each being worth 5 cubes in total. Small, flat, and easily hidden or carried, can coins are the way of the future. Why not exchange your cubes today? And we're back. It's time we discuss the beasts that travel our wasteland. Ever since the incident, the wild things of the world have changed. Very few beasts are as they once were. Often morphed and mutated into horrific abominations, these creatures prowl the wastes. Many of them deadly, some helpful, others benign. In this segment, we should discuss our wasteland's wild things. Yimnim is a terrible giant stag, whose antlers are covered with lidless blue human eyes affixed to the subject before them. Black voids where eyes its own once may have been. It lays unmoving, yet sitting up, on its chest the ever-open lips of a human, cracked and bloodied, with jagged fractured teeth crawling with worms, maggots, and all disgusting creatures of death's scavengers. Through the holes of these dreadful fangs, the voice is heard calling, "Is it done yet?" This is the account of a man lost in madness. On the day following his family's death, this creature, Yimnim, is what he found among the bodies of his loved ones in his home. It is an account we should not ignore, for his is not the only one. On 3 separate occasions, people have come forward describing this creature from across our broadcasting range. In each account, the encounter was preceded only by a sound not dissimilar from a moth hitting a light bulb. It is a terrifying account of a creature most unique. Please be careful, my faithful listeners. In each account, families were killed in a manner most gruesome, too graphic to be told over the air. And I'm afraid that's going to be all of the time we have for today. It's about time for the evening radio music. But before we go, however, I should like to leave you with the afternoon puzzler. Did you discover yesterday's answer? I'll remind you the question was, what do you call a man with a rubber toe? The answer, Roberto. Congratulations to anyone who got that one. Today's puzzler is as follows. What do sprinters eat before a race? Think about it, and tune in again tomorrow for the answer. But I'm afraid that's all of the time we have. Thank you all so much for tuning in. Until next time, I wish you all the very best. And, if you're truly out there, good luck.